What's going on, everyone? For everybody who has been joining in on the Tera Classic server, thank you so much. It has been an incredible experience. We've had so many people joining the server lately, lots of new faces. The server has grown quite literally tenfold at this point, and it's been really awesome. But as such, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of people who never played Tera, and they're a little lost, a little confused, a little unsure of what to do, and we're seeing a lot of the same questions asked day in and day out in the global chat, in the streams that are going on for people. And so we're just going to give you a few heads up on a couple things to know in the early stages of the game, just as, quality of life to help you out with getting started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is in your leveling progression, beginning at level 13, you will gain access to the Initiative Request Vanguard board. And this is going to have quests that are either repeatable kill quests for mobs in the area, as well as an additional quest for completing the dungeon that is available for your level range. Now, you won't have one at level 13. That'll begin at level 20 with Bastion of Loke. And this is just going to be a thing that gives you some additional crystals, XP for completing these activities, and you can do them repeatedly for the rewards. And so this is going to be a way to help you with some EXP early on. You don't have to really go out of your way to do these. If these line up with your main story quest mobs or other side quests that you're doing in the area, it's a good way to double up on them. But I wouldn't necessarily go out of your way specifically to do these unless you find that you are at like 26 out of 30 on, Desolate Coast Fighters because you were doing them as part of another quest earlier. Then maybe go finish off those extra 4 mobs and turn it in for the EXP and the rewards. So that's the first thing to take into account with all that. Secondly is going to be your inventory. Inventory can be expanded in the main cities at NPCs near trade brokers. It's just gold to expand the inventories. But outside of that, in terms of managing your inventory, you're going to get a lot of extra gear early on. In the early stages, you don't really need to hold on to the gear. You're not really going to be enchanting. So I'd recommend kind of just selling that gear and not disenchanting it yet. Disenchanting is this button right here, and that lets you break it down for feedstock. Okay, and that's going to actually cost you money in order to dismantle it as well. So early on, I would just sell it for the extra silver so that you can, get some money to increase your bag space. With that, though, should you get something that you would like to enchant, you can hit the T keybind, and that'll open up the enchanting page. And if you have a piece of equipment that can be enchanted, you can put it in the window here. Okay, enchantable gear will be equipment that have additional sublines that have a +3, +6, +9 on them. Not all gear is enchantable, all right? But if you do get a piece and you do want to enchant it, dismantling equipment is how you will get the feedstock that you will then use for enchanting it. You will also need Alkahest, and it will tell you what tier of Alkahest that you need for it. Alkahest you can get as drops, or you can get it from the merchants as well, but it's a little more expensive from the merchants in terms of silver. But if you do have it, you can get it and you can go and enchant it. And this is going to take it up to +4. Boom. Starting at +4, it can fail, but it won't go down. So up to +9. And so it won't downgrade, but it will fail. Later stages, when you're doing awakenings and master workings, those will have situations where enchanting can downgrade, but it will not go below +9 and stuff of that nature. But that is essentially how enchanting works, and that is what the enchanting equipment is. In terms of changing the traits that are on here, that is something that you can do later on, and we'll have a separate video on that later. We'll just do an entire masterwork and enchanting video going over that all together for you in another one, but this is just a quick heads up for if you get something early that you do want to enchant for some move speed or attack speed on a weapon. This is how you do it. It's very simple and straightforward. From there, though, speaking of your equipment, those of you that are playing characters that have multiple roles available to them, like a warrior, and you have DPS or tanking gear or stats, crystals, whatever have you, or if you're people who are going to have PvP equipment or PvE equipment, A great thing that you're able to do is you can make loadouts early on. So right here we have one loadout saved. You just be on tab 1, save it here. This is the equipment for it. When I click 2, it instantly loads what load 2 is. So now we have on those boots that we just enchanted, and these crystals were removed because we didn't have crystals saved on this loadout. And we can tab it straight back, and we see the crystal disappear there. So you will need the equipment and the crystals in your bag, but it will just automatically pull them in and out from your equipment and bag to what your loadout is. Additionally, from there is Glyphs. And these also have their own loadouts, so you can make your own skill glyph loadouts. For those of you, Glyphs begin at level 20. So early on, combat might feel a little weird. It might feel a little slow at first. You're missing some attack speed. At level 20, Glyphs unlock. Glyphs are essentially the talent tree version of your abilities, where you get glyph points that you are able to put into these effects that modify your skills. And some of these can have very impactful forms of how your class will play. It can greatly alter how fast it plays, the fluidity of it, getting attack speed buffs, getting resets on skills, HP recovery, mana return, extended stun duration, all that stuff. So again, if you need stuff that has aggro or dropping aggro, if you're like healers, increased healing, tanks, if you need more aggro, you can have different loadouts that are more oriented based on your solo play, your group play, PvP, and so you can just make multiple glyph loadouts based on what you need. And this is something that's really going to have an impact on your playstyle and what your approach is that you're looking to do. And it's a really big thing that these systems do exist to make it easy for you to be able to make those changes. But it's just something to help you out early on with some of this information for those who are unaware of how it all works. I am glad people are playing this game again. I hope people keep playing it. Keep talking about it to your friends. Get more people involved. It's been really awesome seeing all these new people joining in. And I hope you have a great time. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If this was helpful, leave a like and subscribe. And if you have questions, you can always find us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zav. Take care and have a good one.